If you will just take this approach to investing, it will be the best time to be entering, as well as you can use this same technique to get out. And that is ultimately going to be the best play to be investing. So the number one question I get when people really start entering into the investing space, specifically the crypto space, is now a good time? When should I get in? How about now? How about now? How about now? Right? No one seems to ask me near as many questions about when to get out. Everybody just wants to know how to get in, and I really want to be able to walk you through the best approach to this entire concept. So if you think of it like this, I referred to it in a couple of videos. I call it dollar cost averaging, right? Instead of trying to buy Bitcoin at 30,000 and then it drops to 25,000, right? And you're like, oh, dang it, no, I'm supposed to buy it now. And then it goes up to 40,000 and you're like, oh wait, no, maybe I should buy it now because now it's really going to take off. And then it drops down to 30,000, right? So like you keep mistiming the market. And really the concept is this: establish the mindset of dollar cost averaging. If this is a wealth building tool for you, the best way to build wealth is find an asset class. In this case, crypto is what we're focusing on, and average into this. This would be like buying Bitcoin today, tomorrow, or let's just say every single Monday, right? So you buy $100 every single Monday for 10 Mondays. Okay, well, all in, you're $1,000 in. But what's interesting is you bought some Bitcoin. Let's say it just stayed in the $30,000 range the entire time. So some Bitcoin you bought at 30,000, some Bitcoin you bought at 39,900, some Bitcoin you bought at 32, 38, 36, 35, whatever that is. The benefit of that is that you're accumulating throughout the cycle rather than trying to say, oh, I've got $1,000. I'm going to go ahead and put it all in at $38,000 today. And then feeling upset, obviously, when it kind of comes down. There's several different ways you can go to exchanges, and you can set up a reoccurring payment on that exchange, your Coinbase, your Gemini, your whoever you use, to be able to buy crypto. And you can set up a reoccurring acquisition of that crypto. It will ultimately average out, it'll be buying, and then your investment into crypto will be averaged so that you're getting some of the lows and you're also getting some of the highs, but ultimately you are averaging it out. So your acquisition cost becomes a lot more competitive. And over time, especially over time, one, you've been accumulating more, but two, hey, you've got some pretty good price points. And that is ultimately the key on how we're going to build our wealth, because so many people are so afraid to enter the market because the price is too low or too high. Yes, there's arguments for both sides, but ultimately they never take action, right? They never actually go and do it. And they could wait years. And a lot of times what I saw when Bitcoin was under $10,000, everyone was too fearful that it was, I just don't know. I just don't know yet. And once it went over $20,000 and $30,000 and $40,000, then all of a sudden they were super interested in doing it. When it's like, look, if you look into it and it's something you're interested in, just start accumulating it over time. If you have $1,000 to invest, accumulate $100 a week for 10 weeks. You know what I mean? Or if you really just want to, go for it. But in order to help with the mindset piece that so many people get frustrated about, where they buy crypto and then 2 days later, 2 weeks later, 2 months later, whatever, their portfolio is down and they can't figure out why it's down. Well, had you been averaging this in, you would have been accumulating and you wouldn't be near as down as you think you would. More importantly, there's a whole other conversation we're going to make in the next video about kind of how to look at investing from a portfolio standpoint and really how our mindset ultimately dictates the highs and the lows. And the beautiful part about that. So we're going to take that dollar cost averaging idea to get in. And the cool part is, as market cycles start to roll, right, we get to the top of markets, we also want a dollar cost exit is kind of another way to think about it, right? Where instead of trying to time, if I believe Bitcoin's going to $100,000 or $200,000, I'm not going to wait till Bitcoin hits $200,000 to sell it. I'm going to start selling it at a percentage below that, say 30 or 40% below that. And I'll slowly start to exit. That way I'm taking some of my profits so that if it doesn't go to the target that I want, I'm averaging my exits as well, just like I did on my entrances. And that's going to allow me to capture some of the gains that I might potentially miss simply by not being able to predict the future. because you really can't, right? And so this allows you to smoothly transition in, smoothly transition out, and then during the next market cycle, or if you're a fan of the 4-year cycle like the stock to flow model we've talked about, then the next 4 years you can slowly start to dollar cost average in again, dollar cost exit, and there you go. Now you've got a consistently growing portfolio that's not just growing in returns, it's growing in the accumulation of that asset. So you're slowly buying Bitcoin, you're slowly selling Bitcoin back into a stable coin or cash. Now you have more cash to go and buy Bitcoin again when it's low, and then the same thing over and over again.